For me, I must admit, probably when Oliver and Terry said to me about laying it, first of all, you kind of think back to the old 3G pitches or the AstroTurf pitches. I was a bit sceptical, but as soon as sort of being laid and the quality of it, I thought it's a different class, to be honest.
I think it's fantastic. I think that for any young lad that we coach out here, I think they love it. The fact that it does give a true roll and it gives a true bounce. You're not going to get, no matter what the weather's like, whether we get torrential rain or we've had a lovely hot summer, the pitch doesn't change. You know, they come out and they can play their football on it, and I think it gives them a great opportunity to develop their skills rather than attending on this time of the year with the muddy pitches or you go to the start of the year where the pitches are rock hard. It starts to be a little bit maybe of a disadvantage.
Yeah, of course it does. I mean, I think it's definitely the future. I mean, I've been lucky enough to have a good career in football where I've played in Scotland, I've played in Swansea, Grimsby, Chelsea for a number of years, and it started coming out when I was first at Chelsea. They started bringing the 3Gs for the training purposes because of the weather which we've been experiencing recently. I had a slight concern when I came down here to start off with what you hear about 3G pitches, but when I'd done my knee, my cruciate. But I mean, I've not had a single problem since playing here. It's over a year now on that.
I think the problem with that is if you've got a team that's got no interest in playing football and just wants to go long all the time, then yeah, it probably is an advantage to us because we can get it down and play. But I think the majority of teams that come here, it improves their game. I look back to games we've played this season and last. We've played teams away from home and beaten quite convincingly. Come here and it's been like playing a different team. The football's been a lot better. It's been a more open game. I think when you're on muddy pitches this time of year and rock hard pitches that the ball's bouncing all over, it becomes a bit of a lottery. Whereas this, I think, makes it more even. I think the majority of teams now train on this, so it's not like people are not used to it. And I can't say that anyone's ever come here and any manager or player that I've known has come here and said a bad thing about it. I think every manager's been very complimentary about it, and as I say, I think that tells you all you need to know.
It's difficult when you go away from home and sat as an example where the pitch is very heavy, it's wet. It takes a lot out of your legs. You tend to find that in between games you can recover a lot quicker. And I think the lads will find we've tend to find that you pick up a lot more injuries this time of the year with the Saturday, Tuesday games on them heavier pitches because your legs are having to work a little bit harder than maybe they would on this sort of surface.
I think first and foremost, players want to play on a pitch that is level. You know, is flat, is going to run true, and I mean, this runs as true as a pitch you could possibly get. I mean, it's flat. I mean, there's no bobbles. There's nothing to really blame, really, apart from yourself if mistakes are made. But I also see it as a disadvantage to us, really, in terms of a club. In terms of when clubs come here, it's an easy excuse for clubs to throw out about, oh, we're playing on a 3G pitch. I mean, in my opinion, if you cannot play on a 3G pitch, what can you play on then? It's a perfect surface, flat. As I said, it runs true as to any pitch out there, and I see it as a future of football.
Admittedly, last season when we first had it laid, a few of the older players I spoke to about coming here were a bit, oh, is it hard? And I sort of said to them, look, you need to come and see what it's all about. And every player that come here has never had any problem with it. And in my eyes, I can't see why it shouldn't be allowed. Obviously, over the years, I've played a lot of grounds, and this time of year, and earlier on in the season, and later on in the season, when pitches get rock hard, the surfaces are not great, and you can suffer with your back on the pitches. I'm an ex-player that did suffer with my back, and on hard grounds, I always, towards the end of the season, at the beginning, struggled. I think this has probably got more give than a lot of grass pitches have pre-season and at the end. I look back to sort of Liam Dayspring in Gravesend or Ebbsfleet down here last year, and he was a bit sceptical of the pitch, and so I brought him down here to have a look at it, and he couldn't wait to get down here and get his boys on it. So yeah, I think it shows you, and other pro clubs that have asked to use it for training facilities, it shows you now that I think it's of such a high standard that there's no worries about sort of back problems and that, and I think that's been proven. So we certainly haven't had any problems with backs and things like that through the players we've got here. We had a lot of older players last year. And this year we've got a few older ones who train on it week in, week out and play on it and don't have a problem.
I think playing in a boggy pitch, it's been like downpour or rain. Like the pitch that we played on Saturday at Grays. I mean, a very, very heavy pitch, and that's draining as a player. I mean, so unsteady underfoot. You know, I mean, quite easily injuries in those type of situations. And we've actually had some injuries here at Maidstone this season, which has been on grass pitches. We've had a cruciate ligament this season that's been on a grass pitch. So I mean, the injury side of it, I don't agree with. I think it's, if anything, it's more beneficial.
I felt where I was at Woking, a lot of the lads knew that I was coaching here, and I knew about the surface. And I think that any club that you say 3G to, I think sort of the bell rings of maybe a goal surface or the old style 3G. I think it takes people to come down and see it. And I know there was an England Sea International here not too long back, and one of the lads played in it from Woking, and he couldn't believe how good the surface was. And don't be wrong, when you're in a conference, that there were some fantastic grounds you go to. Some of the pitches were great, but no matter what pitch it is, at certain times of the season, in sort of January, February, pitches do start to churn up, and they do something a little bit heavy. And I think, depending on where it is, it can become a bit of an advantage or a bit of a lever to two teams. And I think if you play here, any team that wants to play football or doesn't want to play football, I don't think it matters, because the pitch will give you a true bounce and a true roll throughout 90 minutes.
I think last year we didn't have a training session off. I think we had one game off, no training sessions. And yeah, without a doubt, I think the year before we were sort of getting to training. Training would be off because of mud and waterlogged pitches and frozen pitches. We were able to train on here every year, and it helps you massively. Obviously, I'm down here every day with the academy as well now. We've got young lads coming through. The academy players are used to the environment, which is a massive bonus for youth players coming through. I remember being a youngster at a pro club, and you're only getting to use the pitch every now and then, and when it comes to match day, you did play on it, you were nervous. Whereas here, I think it makes the lads more relaxed in the environment, and it's a great place for us to come training. But I know a lot of boys in semi-pro, sometimes training becomes a bit of a chore, but here, without a doubt, when you've got this facility and this pitch, I know everyone just looks forward to coming training there.
Oh, of course. I mean, massively for youth development, 3G is the way forward. I mean, playing on a pitch where, as I said, again, runs true. I mean, the players can work on the technical side of the game a lot more and a lot consistently, if you like. We're not, as we said, some grass pitches out there where there's baubles, where the pitches and the surfaces are not up to standard. Kids can suffer from that. But for my experience as coaching, and any coaching we do is on 3G. And I've seen massive improvements in players we work with every single day, and a lot of that is down to the actual surface of 3G.